Hi, it's my honor to introduce the Honorable William Reilly in this interactive process. This is what William has written in his application to be on the pain call for the fourth type of pain, the pain of not being able to know or express or manifest your true gifts. For which domain in life do you believe the pain of not knowing or sharing your gifts with others is associated? He wrote, impacting the field of humanity. Please describe your pain and how you experience it and how others are affected by it. Sleeping through the night has become a challenge. My thoughts are worrisome. Much that matters to me is being destroyed. My age probably precludes my having time to effect the transformation of the culture to reclaim and relearn what has been constructed over the past 55 years. The country has become mean and ungenuous, and the pain and loss experienced by so many are accumulating. I have a feeling of uselessness and irrelevance, a sense of powerlessness to affect events, protect people and institutions. What are your concerns about your pain, circumstances, and/or the experience? There appears to be very little on the horizon that prompts confidence that beneficial change is likely. What does your pain mean to you? It feels like a loss of power, influence, and worthwhile endeavor, and fear for the future. How do you feel about how you feel? I long to reacquire my confidence that I once had and the ability to sleep through the night. If the pain was to go away, what would you like to see replace the pain? What is your soul's calling? My soul's calling is to chart a new course for humanity, to care for each other and the planet. Joy, humor, a confident looseness, and happy accommodation of change, and belief in growth and positive change. And now, we'll go further to see what happened at the end of this alchemy mentor FieldSpeak interactive and how we got to that change.
What happened on that interactive call with Donnie?
I think Donnie's genius is to explore with someone their deepest commitments and thoughts and remind them that there is a very positive side to their orientation, to their history, and to their future expectations, even if they are not, for whatever reasons, something that's gone wrong or some situation is now not so promising, even if they are not aware of it. And that certainly happened to me. I began the conversation with Donnie by saying that my fears and anxieties were very much concentrated in two areas. One was a sense that my life's work, much of it was being dismantled at the Environmental Protection Agency. 55 years of since that agency was started, and I had long been involved with it and ran it. And what he reminded me of was by asking me first how I felt today. I looked outside and it was sunny and clear in Northern California, and I said, well, I feel fine personally. It's a great day. And he cited my own words, which I had written as a blurb for his book, Seekers, and drew my attention to the fact that in my deepest commitments, I have been very hopeful and very positive, and in fact, sometimes inspiring to others to be such as well. Not long after the call, I was asked to give a keynote speech to the EPA Alumni Association, some 3,000 people from around the country who worked for the Environmental Protection Agency and who had every reason to be deeply unhappy because the agency is about to suffer about a 50% loss of finance and support and also personnel from the Trump administration. But instead of concentrating on that, I looked to the future and reminded people that when we created EPA, we had no real rational expectation that it would ever be as successful as it was. At least I don't think we did. But it has been hugely successful. And it's had, basically it's transformed America. The numbers of waters that are fishable and swimmable, the air quality that is pure and breathable in Los Angeles and Houston and Chicago and places where it wasn't. And to draw on that realization that we can effect change, and we will do it again. We will have to do it again. And this time, we have experience doing it. We know more. In fact, I'm told now the group has started a program to do exactly what I recommended, to look to the future and how the agency should be organized when we get the opportunity to revisit that question and when an administration is open to it, and to move on. I think it was inspiring to me to look out to the future, which Donnie had said it would be, and a corrective for the scowling annoyance that I was feeling, and not despair, but unhappiness when I began that call. There's every reason, in other words, never to give up and to look to the future and let the future guide the choices that we make, because we'll probably make them out of the best versions of ourselves.
Anything that's going on now in life that you'd like to share, and also any messages for Donnie that you'd like to pass on?
No, Donnie was, I thought, amusing when he commented that years ago we were on the island of Formica, Padre Eligio's community, and he worked with me on something and perhaps drew my attention to the same kind of positive thoughts and reminders of what's expected of me and what I had already achieved. And he said the very next day I got a call making an invitation from President Obama to be co-chairman of the Oil Spill Commission, what happened in the Gulf and how to make sure it never happens again. And I thought about that, the coincidence, which is not a coincidence as he described it, but rather a message from the field, is a lovely way to look at it. And probably at a fundamental level, true.
So you had to develop a sense of self, follow what the culture said, and have succeeded at it. And the particular point to say, there's something more, and something gnaws at you. It wakes you up at night. It turns you over. You have a terror, a fear. Something is really wrong. This is the type of pain when someone has achieved everything they want to and read that. They say, that's all. They know there's more. And they go about the old ways of trying to get accepted, to be liked, to see that their will be done, then the pain actually increases. With your mind's eye, stretch the information to the future. How far does that go?
Honestly, it stops, I guess, last month.
Okay, but now pause right now. I'm not going to ask you to think now. I'm going to ask you with your mind's eye, without thinking any thoughts, just energy. How far does that stream move towards the future? Does it go here? Does it stop? Does it go? How far does an information stream that has its origin from the past move?
I don't think really it moves very far.
Okay. So if that's the case, if you start your information stream from the past, it'll never influence the future.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're focused on what was in the past, how I did in the past, you lose your energy source and you lose your impact. Okay. In the best days of all, you saw a long-term future gig that you're in. That was fueling you. Now, what you're right is that you don't see a future. The future will confuse you. If you don't get information in the future, everything breaks apart because your information makes your cells and everything else is future guided. For me, it's the past.
You know, I've had couple of press conferences and 3 articles in the New York Times in the last 60 days. So I'm doing what I can think of to do to influence that future. It's just that relative to the challenge, it doesn't look very adequate.
That's right. Because if you changed nothing more, but allowed your superpower, information from the future to happen, it would have more impact. You would have more impact because the words we say do not impact. The thoughts we do not. It's the energy that we are. And this is where you go beyond all the roles into the soul light that you are. And that makes impact beyond reason and beyond thought. Now take your hand from the future. And from the future, how far does that go towards the past? Take the future information from the future hand and forward to the past. How far will that stream go towards the past?
It goes pretty far because the MO I have learned over the years is what I have been deploying, looking forward to the future too. I haven't made a transformation into some new era, probably.
Anytime any thought or measurement for you starts from the past information stream, electrons have spins forward and past, that type of amount. As long as you go the opposite way, you lose the electricity for yourself, for your thoughts, so your thoughts have a lower level. If you drop every thought reflects how much energy you have. And you are an energy shortage right now. Put your hand to your chest like up here. Okay. And right now, tell me the biggest concern you have. But allow it to, I want to compare, when your hands are here and there, what's different in the information flow, okay?
The biggest concern I have, I suppose it's twofold. And it's one is the degree of building, of creation, of new construction, which has to be done at some point. And the sense I have that I may not have enough time to participate in that. I think that's honestly the truth.
And that is a soul communication. Tell me right now about what is the concern now. Now, not before, now.
The concern at this moment.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really a beautiful day in FieldSpeak. I don't have a lot of immediate personal concerns.
So when you draw from an external source of energy beyond yourself, you can't even find the concern or trouble. You were playing this game your whole life, generations before it was available. I'm suggesting that hang in there because you are one of those people who has that, but it requires a different information flow. Okay. This is great. This is great. Thank you. And the more successful you are at something, the more difficult it is to go another way. You've been reinforced for that. But you already know it's not working anymore. That's what soul's telling you. And there's nothing you can freaking do about it. But it's not about you doing about it. It's about you energetically providing the free energy for others in your day and allow the connection to happen. Allowing new generations of people to come to you and say, how do we do this in our time? And you don't have to tell them how. They just have to feel it from you. They have to sense it from you. And the divine takes over from that. Thank you so much, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Donnie.